Welcome. Our project is on analyzing mobile payment applications with a focus on the inbuilt biometric security on the smartphone. The idea is to circumvent the default security implementation using a fake fingerprint and utilize this to compromise other applications to see how they stand after the parent device is compromised. This idea gets more practical since a fake can be made with a high resolution photo of a person's hand or even a smudge on the victim's smartphone itself. For our experiment, we chose apps from the top list of both Google's Play Store and Apple's App Store, trying to include most apps which use the biometric security system. With over 4 million downloads just from the Play Store, they represent a sample size enough to cover most users to professionals. To improve the statistics, we included a few applications from other domains which were either directly or indirectly related. Starting our experiment on iOS, we ran Apple Pay on an iPhone 6 and just needed to use the fake fingerprint to complete a purchase at Walgreens. For Android, we used the fake fingerprint on a Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, which even though gave us a high rate of failure successfully let us use Samsung Pay to authorize the payment. Moving on to applications, in our experiments, Wells Fargo was a rather safe app with no option to enable biometrics on Android and options such as an RSA key device. It only fails on iOS if additional steps are not enabled and Touch ID is. LastPass required the use of the master password even though biometrics were enabled. Privacy.com used Google Authenticator apart from Touch ID, hence no compromise in its case either. Walmart allowed access to Walmart Pay, letting us use any stored card to make a purchase through it. Similarly, PayPal let us use Touch ID to log in instead of passwords and successfully send money. PayPal on Android doesn't have the biometric option available, which surprisingly works in its favor as the default timeout compels the user to log in again. When one other app was similarly flawed in the touch of the fake fingerprint, we were happily sending money to anyone we wanted. Applications popularly used in India did not use Touch ID directly and were broken terribly. On all these apps, we were successfully able to recharge prepaid mobile numbers and transfer funds. Also, none of them employed a timeout or a pin, and we did a clean sweep on all. There were a lot more apps tested on both the mobile OSs, and the results were rather surprising. In summary, our experiments found that 45% were completely broken, 30% were partially safe depending on the user's options, and 25% of the apps were entirely safe, which was more than we expected.